Whether you're a lifelong keeper or just getting started, help us encourage responsible keeping, conservation, and public education in the interest of keeping our reptiles safe and healthy as we protect them for future generations. You're invited to spend time with us as we experience these awesome animals together on Intrepid Exotics. Oh, hey, let's see. Where are we going? Woohoo, there we go. More last-minute setup today. Just got back in a little while ago, so hope everybody is doing well. Had to add some more overlays that we're going to talk about here a little bit later, and forgot to take the main overlay off. Oh man, it has been crazy week. It's been incredibly busy. A lot of work with gear this week. Done a little bit of work with the animals, making a little bit of progress with the tegu, but got a lot of stuff going on for sure. Hope everybody's been doing great. Definitely let me know down in the comments if there's anything you guys want to chat about tonight. We are flying solo. We definitely had a blast last week, though. It was really a pleasure to have Bob Bledsoe on. That was actually the first time him and I had spoken. Was right before we'd gone live, like 10 minutes before that. We bounced back and forth in messages and so forth, but it was pretty funny. We was both back and forth going, "What do you want to talk about?" I don't know. We just start and we'll go, knowing that a lot of his live streams will run 2-3 hours and a lot of mine will run 2-3 hours. I was like, I'm sure we'll be able to figure it out. It went really well. It was really a pleasure having him on. Great guy, really interesting fella. And I've got my, you can always tell a monitor lizard keeper or a big lizard keeper in general. All my older t-shirts have all got spots where Niles has decided he's wanted to jump in and claw. I've actually got one of my better Intrepid Exotics shirts that he just completely ripped the front out of one day. Guys are so much fun. Actually, it was really funny. I'd seen Nathan Souza was just putting something up on social media a little while ago, showing the little scratches that he got from his 4-foot Nile monitor. And just reminding everybody that's par for the course. If you've got Niles of any big monitors of any kind, you're going to bleed. That's just what we do. All right. So let's jump in real quick, see who else here. Erica, good to see you. And by the way, again, for all the Patreon folks, we are going to be doing a Zoom call tonight. I emailed the link out to everybody. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing some folks there. Of course, we canceled it last week because I didn't want to be pressed for time with Bob on because I knew we'd have a ton to talk about. Oh, Brandon, good to see you. Gerald. Nicole is with us. I am doing well, and I'm really happy that my eye, you guys can probably see which one, this one, yeah. You can probably see where the blood vessel's still up there. Man, yesterday it was blown out. I don't do any drugs of any kind. I drink coffee and I smoke cigarettes. That's it. But I do wear contact lenses, and between the little miniature pincher that likes to crawl up in my face every night and working with the reptiles, get eye infections like you would not believe. Fortunately, we could see really well today. Took some of the new camera lenses out to a park, a local bog that I've got some really cool pictures from that I'll put up. Like I said, man, I've been watching a lot of photography and videography stuff, trying to really fine tune all this stuff. You guys can probably notice a difference in the camera that I'm using tonight. It's actually the same camera body, but I finally got a good wide angle, wide aperture lens, so I don't have to have those lights blasting me in the face the whole time. I actually took those things down, put them away. This is just ceiling light right here, and it's on point. So much more comfortable. Should be a better picture too. And you'll notice with those wider apertures, that background blurs out a lot better, which is kind of nice. So, Dennis, greetings from Idaho, or greetings right back at you from North Carolina. Oh yeah, it was. That was a good time. We'll definitely have to do it again. I'll have to see if he wants me to jump on his show one of these days. Talk about the big snakes and stuff like that. North Carolina Exotics is here. Good to see ya. My mother is in the house. Well, everybody is glad you showered because we didn't want to smell you the whole time. So. Cool. Is it? I'll have to compare. I'll have to compare when we get off of here and just look at this one as opposed to the other ones. Had two different camera lenses come in, and I'll show you some of the work that I did with it today. Really impressed with some of the images that we got out of it. Megan, good to see you. Hey, Jordy, good to see you, sir. Bob's doing good. He's been quiet. Pretty much ever since he ate last weekend, he's just been kind of sitting in there chillaxing. So, I guess we've got enough folks on right now. I want to go over of course, everybody that spoke up and said hello. I know you guys are all familiar with USARK. I may, depending on how many people end up jumping up later, I may end up playing this twice. But one of the things that I wanted to do, I always go through and just kind of ramble on about USARK. I put something out the other day that a lot of you may have seen. But I think this really kind of drives home the importance. So instead of me rambling on about it, I'm going to go ahead and play this video.
I think everyone can admit there were some mistakes made on April 6th, and I hope we can learn from those and move forward on this.
Instead of just euthanizing these animals, there are people that really want them. There's zoos, there's places. I could have made calls and had them out of the state by morning.
Apparently, the state of Washington is trying to take away the ability for people to teach kids in the next generation about animals in order to explain to us what's going on and how you guys can take action against this right now. We have the president of USARK, Phil Goss.
I'm going to start with the Washington bill. So thank you everybody who contacted the legislators. That bill did not meet the deadline, so that bill is actually going to die. So the second alert we posted this year was New Mexico. So that was another animal program ban bill, and that one we stopped too. And there was a whole lot of support for that bill, especially within the state. But myself, a couple reptile people, even a parrot Rhode Island showed up. Yet another animal program ban bill, which likely means it's going to die for the year. So again, thank you everybody. So Connecticut, it looks like we Illinois. Well, guess what we had? An animal program bill. Illinois should be dead for this session. Thank you everybody who opposed that.
And that is a good reminder for me to turn the banner on too. So definitely, any of you guys, if you're not currently easy to do, it's really cheap, makes a huge difference. All of the stuff that Phil was talking about right there, every one of those states was only the animal program bans, which were banning people from taking animals out and educating the public about them. The educational programs that we do are paramount to us being able to fight legislation like this, because an uneducated public that's not familiar with these animals, they haven't seen them before, they will vote to ban them in a heartbeat. You know, the community needs to see us interacting with these and seeing how safe they are. So it was really awesome the USARK was able to kill those bills like that. And like I said, those were just the program ban bills. There was several other ones that were pretty bad too, really nasty restrictions and stuff. So definitely make sure you're on board with them. And if you're not already, jump on board with the Patreon for Intrepid Exotics too. All of our contributing members are invited to Zoom meetups after every one of our live streams. We start all our live streams at 7 o'clock, and the Zoom calls start at 8:30, right thereabouts. The only time we won't have them is, you know, just like last weekend when I had a guest on and we was expecting to run way over. That starts running into 10, 11 o'clock or something like that. Then we'll go ahead and cancel those Zoom calls for that. Otherwise, the only other time I've canceled one was because I couldn't see. But but they're really great. We've got some great keepers that come in there, showing off some great animals, a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge floating around in there. So definitely encourage folks to jump in. You get to see and talk with everybody that you see the screen names for online and as we're talking in these live streams and stuff like that. So awesome. Thank you, Nicole. Outstanding. North Carolina Exotics said he sent a USARK video to like 3,000 people. We need to get it out to about 200 million people. Yes. Hey, Scott, how you doing this evening? And absolutely, everybody needs to support USARK and USARK Florida. That's something else I got to do, too. I got to add something in. I know USARK Florida was in that video. It was specifically geared towards USARK National. I really need to do something for Florida, too. I'm going to tweak that stuff. I'm going to be making more of them. I really want to get, you know, up the quality on those things and see if I can get some really professional-looking, eye-catching, attention-grabbing USARK stuff done. So hopefully we can make that happen. Jenny, good to see ya. Thank you so much, Erica. Yeah, North Carolina Exotics. She has both of them. I do as well. USARK and USARK Florida. My lens mug is somewhere else. I did get a camera lens mug. So, but I didn't bring it. I'm still using a rattlesnake mug tonight. Hey, Jeremy made it. Good to see you, my friend. Finally caught us Saturday evening. Oh, yeah. This is my favorite mug, man. This thing right here. Of course, it's, let's see. Yeah. I love the autofocus on this lens, too, man. It's pretty much on point. As long as I can get my eyeballs out of the frame. Let me see. Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah, this will be really good for bringing the snakes up, letting everybody see them. That's one thing, man, for anybody that's planning on doing some stuff and getting into recording and all that. Yeah, you always think that the camera body is going to be the big investment. These lenses, every one of the lenses I've gotten for this thing cost more than the camera body. And each one of them makes a huge difference. You guys will see as soon as I get caught up here in the comments. I'm going to show you guys some of the pictures that I edited from the trip to the bog today. Hey, Brian, good to see you, man. Mike, good evening. Yeah, you need to start putting out more videos. I need to start putting out more videos. I've got to get my next video for the channel put out here really quick. I was too tied up to get one done this week outside of the USARK one. And I've also got a video Q&A to do. For those of you guys that know Jen Black, she does SOAR. She also is in a Trap Talk network with Mike Stefani, Saturdays at noon. She puts together a really awesome online magazine. and done some stuff for it a year or two ago. And she sent me some questions. So I've got to this weekend get that stuff recorded, the Q&A off of that. So as soon as I get the link, once she gets that thing published, I'll put it out so you guys can see it. Have any boas? I do have one. I have a boa imperator in there, and depending on how he's feeling, I may be able to go out there and get him. Appreciate it. Yeah, this one should be a little bit different, man. I got the I got a 17 millimeter wide angle f1.4 on here now. So I was able to pull all the extra lights down. This thing catches so much more light, so much better. Plus I get the just the natural, the foggy background in here, which is really cool. Hey, Nameless is here. Judd, you made it. Good to see ya. Oh yeah, man. The only thing is one of these days, and I keep saying this, I know I say this every time, it's got a fake rattle on it. I want to have a real rattle on here. I'm kind of afraid it's going to fall apart eventually, having it on here. But at least I don't have to worry about really washing it or nothing because the little lining comes up out of here. So when I clean the cup, I don't have to run this thing through the sink or nothing. Oh, it is, man. Yeah. And I actually had this lens outside at the bog today, and I don't know. It's good for this kind of stuff right here. I tested it. It works on my gimbal, which is a good thing. I've got a tracking gimbal that that's for this camera right here that will follow me around as I'm filming. So, and I thought with these new heavier lenses it wouldn't work with it, but it still works like a champ. So we'll see how the next videos and stuff downstairs come out with this. I know lighting is a big problem for me down there. So hopefully I get down there and get it tested out. I'll probably do it tomorrow. I'm going to try to do it tomorrow. With all the studying I've been doing, I've been spending hours upon hours upon hours watching nature photographies, learning their camera settings and all this other stuff, and learning, getting better with the software. So it's all a work in progress. That's for sure. Oh yeah. Yeah, my boa is awesome. Charlie, boa imperator. He's just the best natured guy ever. Talk about putting a macro. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll have to try that because I've got a macro lens in there too. I got a new tripod in because the tripod that I have been using, when I put the gimbal on it and the camera, it's not strong enough to hold everything up, so it'll flop over. So I had to upgrade that and get a bigger bag for all this stuff now. So everybody loves Charlie. I'll go in there and see what he's doing. He has been really lazy lately. Can a camera and lenses? Yeah, I can post it up, but I can tell you really quick. The camera body I'm using is a Canon M50 Mark II. It's a crop sensor camera. It's considered beginner level camera. It is not very expensive at all. The camera, the kit lens, some filters and all that stuff. I think I might have paid $500 or $700 for the whole thing, and I don't remember right off the top of my head. So it uses EFM lenses, and the EF lenses for the full frame cameras can be adapted onto this. So the pictures that I'll pull up here in a minute, those were all taken with a 70-300 full frame lens adapted to the camera. But yeah, that was another thing that I wanted to do at some point too, because I know there's a lot of folks that watch the videos that actually do their own stuff, their own recordings and all that. So I thought it would be really cool at some point to kind of post everything that I use. But before I put out a video on that, I wanted to make sure that I started getting solid stuff, and I know it's going to put out quality stuff. And, you know, I don't want to put out being halfway set up, saying, oh, this is the gear that I use, and then upgrade everything and learn. You know, I want to make sure my mistakes are fixed first, and I'm putting out good stuff. And I think we're pretty much there. Everything I'm learning so far, it's really, I think this is all pretty reliable stuff. So I may do that pretty soon. Cole says the hubby has a Viking themed cup. Yeah, I know, man. You've been out of the loop. Jeremy says he's way behind on everybody's news. Any new animals since Tegu? Tegu was the last one. Yeah, he was the last one. Because the one I got before that was the marble platinum that I picked up from Jeremy, who is still doing well. He's just the biggest baby. He's just kind of hyperactive. But yeah. I thought maybe there was a possibility that we'd get a little action with him and maybe get to see a little bit of snake fighting, but no such luck. I open up the door, man. I think one of the things that sets folks off with him is he's got that personality on a retic where as soon as you open up the door, he wants to get right in your face and he just starts coming right towards you. And a lot of them won't do that. They'll, you know, you can either see them reacting with a food response or something like that. But this guy, he kind of does what Chloe does and just comes cruising right out at you. And every time he does that, I can't get a complete read on him. 99% sure every time that when he's doing that, he's just wanting to get out of the enclosure and interact. But as soon as that thought crosses my head, I always think of that lady that had her big retic in the fish tank. He stuck her head out. She reached out and it wrapped her up. And they all stumbled all over themselves forever trying to get that snake off. Yeah, Brian says the more he's in the hobby, the more he's liking boa constrictor. Boas are neat, man. They're really, and they're so much more manageable than like mainland retics and stuff like that. So, Jed says the Show Me show's in town and she's able to pick up some fire skinks today. Sweet. Nothing like setting up for babies. Oh, thank you, Mike. I always put out great videos. Everybody hit the like button. Yes, hit the like button. And if you're not already, get subscribed. This has been a slow crawl getting up to 10K. We're only up to like 9,554 or something like that right now. So, but again, a lot of that has to do with the fact that I just haven't been putting out the content that I have been prior. Just got so many irons in the fire, man. But we're getting there. Slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. Oh, no. Yeah, I can relate to that. And there is nothing like losing an animal, man. I lost my female tegu a couple months ago. And, God, that killed me. Killed me. She was the sweetest girl. Sweetest girl ever. So, yeah, I can definitely relate. Yeah, fire skinks are pretty cool. Yeah, my retics are fairly convinced they're the only snakes in the house, too. Especially this little turd over here. Chloe is such a trip. Hey, Jay, good to see you, man. Video terrified your hubby. It makes me not want to be near any snake. He's got over a lot of his fears. Okay, Nicole must be talking about that video of that lady that ended up screwing up and getting wrapped up by a retic. And I mean, stuff like that scares a lot of people. I'll tell you what, if you haven't seen it yet today, Kevin out at Nerd put out a video today. I guess, I don't know if it's a new employee. He may be an employee of some sort. He's a new guy either way, but it was a really good example. Here, let me see. I'll see if I can find the link. If I don't put the link up before I get lost in another conversation, somebody remind me. But it was a perfect example of somebody going in, and matter of fact, I may just pull it up here in a second. I'll just pull up the video. But it was a perfect example of going in on a fairly decent snake and poking it and chasing the last half of its body until it was pissed off, and then it turned around and started getting really defensive and opening its mouth and striking and stuff. And then Kevin jumps in not too long after that. Somebody starts the camera rolling on him, and he shows how to manage it. But if you haven't seen it, I'll at least put the link up here so everybody can see it. But it's a perfect example of what I talk about with the big snakes, about not overusing your hook. No matter how afraid you are of it, you can really easily overuse your hook when you're working with these guys. So I'll see if I can find a link, and I'll share that up there for everybody. Brian said you guys lost your dog. That's rough too. Animals will rip your heart out, man. I mean, a human being does something, I may get mad, I may get sad. I think on it for a day, I'm over it the next day. I think about every animal that I've lost in my life, and it still gets me. I've lost a lot of people in my life too, and the animals are right up there with the people that I cared about. Tara, you made it. Oh, cool. Well, we're glad you made it. Yeah, Gerald, if you're talking about that one where the lady got bit, that was pretty painful to watch. So yeah, let me let's see. So you guys lost your oldest pup and your original beardy. Another surrender chameleon. Banded skink. Cool. Yeah, man. Pups are the worst. Pups are the worst. I know I had to give up my two dogs, and God, it sucked so bad. Last time I had to give up a dog, man. I walked in there, I had sunglasses on. I didn't say a word to anybody because I couldn't, because I did what I had to do, dropped him off. And the whole drive home, man, I cried like a baby. Love that dog. Scott was asking, do I allow shout outs to other reptile channels? Absolutely. I am not in competition with anybody. You guys are more than welcome if you've got channels and stuff like that you like. I know I'm sure there's some moderation crap on there and stuff like that. If you post a link and it doesn't go through, find another way around it or something like that, or send me a message. I don't know. We'll sort it out. Or you can just kind of describe it and then people can search it out on their own. I really don't pay too much attention to the moderation on these live streams because, I mean, everybody that comes in here is cool. Ever get big enough where we start getting some idiots coming in and I need help moderating or something like that, we'll pay closer attention to it. But all we got is cool folks coming in here. I don't ever have to worry about it. And I'm pretty sure you guys are going to, anybody that you guys keep up with is going to be reputable. So yeah, short answer, feel free. Yeah, that's what it is, man. Get attached to these animals. People get amazed at how attached we get to the reptiles too. But I mean, they just, like with Niles, the years that I have invested in that relationship with him is just, I I mean, that's a lot. That's a connection to have with an animal. You know, I can take in an Asian water monitor from somebody else, and within a week, you know, be perfectly comfortable and have a more socialized than Niles is. But you know, it's not always having them perfect that makes that bond. It's just the effort that goes into it, you know, and the history that we've all got. So, hey, John, good to see you, man. Hope you've been doing good. Yep. Let's see. Oh, no. Well, let me see. You guys are putting me on at CMB. I need to, let me make sure of something really quick. Because, I mean, you guys got to keep in mind, I'm getting ready to roll 51 years old, which doesn't make me ancient, but it's just enough time for my mind to start going a little bit. So, not CNBC. CNB reptiles. I just need to refresh my memory real quick. Oh, cool. Yeah, I see their YouTube channel now. It looks like they got an awesome shop out there, man. That's really cool. And you're out in Phoenix, right? I think. Let me get back there. Hey, John. See, everybody missed you, man. Yeah, that last video that you put out got I almost hit on something like that, but I tend to get really, really aggressive. And I'm talking to John from Tipping Scales right now. The last video that he put out was about some pretty disgusting people in the reptile community. Some stuff that, you know, needed to be put out, and he always does so in a really tactful way. Me, on the other hand, when I start to approach something like that, I get angry, because I do. Seen a lot of that stuff firsthand, man, and it just really makes me want to chew nails. So, yeah. Anyway, great way to approach that, John. I was going to put something out, but I decided I'm not going to. I'm going to do my level best. Start doing a lot more. 51 Club is growing. Yes, it is. Yeah, Brian says the same thing. He doesn't know how you made it so tactful. Yeah. I don't pull any punches on any of that stuff. I just can't anymore. I mean, there are things that are objectively right and wrong. You know, opinions are one thing. Yeah, we can have different opinions. You like pizza, I like steak, whatever the case may be. Blue's your favorite color, red's my whatever. I don't care. Those are opinions. There's objective facts that are facts. There's evidence to support them. And not accepting that, especially on matters of moral turpitude, is a huge character flaw, and it's a huge hit to somebody's honor, in my opinion. And if you don't have honor, you can't be trusted. If you can't be trusted, I don't want you in my presence. That's just the way I am. And no amount of kumbaya, you know, looking for supporters for the channel is ever going to change that. You know, if I've got somebody that supports me who's also out there supporting the clan or something like that, peace. I don't want nothing to do with you. And I just don't bend on anything like that. So anyway, enough of all that stuff. Yeah. John put out a really good video about that, if you guys want to go check that out. Yep. The animals are definitely just like our children. That is for sure. Yeah, I know a lot of folks are like that. That's yeah, Jed was talking about that. It is, man. And you know, the sad part is that things like that have become normalized. Stuff like that kind of language, that kind of discrimination, that kind of hate has been normalized over the last 8-9 years, and it shouldn't be. It should not be acceptable. Anyway, Carla, how you doing? Good to see you. Okay, let's see. All right, so I've got to go in here really quick, and I got to show you guys some of these pictures that we got at the bog. And these have been edited up. So I'm not going to go into a whole lot of explanation on them. They don't need it. They're ducks. But let's see. Forgot when I take myself off the stage, you can't hear me anymore. There's one. This was one I really loved. Caught him plowing his face down in the water. And I think I shot this thing at like 3,200 frames per second. So it caught all of that stuff really great. Their little pompadour duck that was running around out there all morning. He was funny as hell. And that one, I'm really happy with how that one came out. I mean, this was my first time taking this telescoping lens out and doing nature photography. Really attempting to catch this stuff and then bringing it home and editing it up. So hopefully this is a sign of what's to come, because I'm really happy with how a lot of this stuff came out. Managed to catch a couple pretty good ones. But the only thing that was really out there was ducks and geese. There was a big alligator snapping turtle that was hanging out with us for a while. Of course, it was too dark over there for the lens that I had to really pick that up. But I got some goslings out there playing around in the water with their mom and dad. So, but yeah, man, it was really cool to get out there this morning and catch some stuff. So see, Harris, I've been given a bill from CMB. Great advice in regards to using paper and moss in the enclosures for less risky feeding. Cool. Yeah, that's everything. I've always been really hesitant about substrate anyway. I had to empty out Chloe's enclosure because she was packing her substrate into her pits so bad that she would just sit over there and cough and sneeze, and I just felt so bad for her. So I had to take all that stuff out of her enclosure. She's got nothing but sphagnum moss in there now and has done really good. And of course, for those of you guys who didn't catch it last time, I had to put, let's see if that thing will focus on the enclosure. Probably not, because of where. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I got that little damn white strip on there because she was squeezing in between that platform and the door, jacking up her head, and there we go. And yeah, bruising herself up and all that stuff. So, but she's just spoiled, man. She wants to be out of that enclosure all the time. But yeah, the enclosures that I've got behind me on this side over here that you can see, yeah, I just put paper down on half of them, put sphagnum moss down on the cold side. The hot side's dry, so keeps the humidity up, and I think it's a lot safer to feed them. I got to show you, Chloe, what this little goofball did. Are you going to wake up? Are you finally tired? This is like the first time in a month I've opened the door and she hasn't just decided she wanted to come rushing right out. Get this comment off of here so you guys can see. But yeah, some of these, for those of you guys thinking about building custom enclosures within platforms and stuff, there was just a little bit of room there. I didn't think there was any way I would ever have to worry about her getting through there, but she figured out how to do it. And she's got those 2 perpendicular lines on her head. One of them from where it like rubbed the top of her head, and then the other one where it got caught on the corner there. And then right there along her spine, where she rubbed that stuff up rubbed it up on the side of the platform there. So yeah, even if you think there's no chance of them getting into something in one of their enclosures, if they're energetic enough, they'll find a way to do it. And she's not hurt. All this stuff, 1, 2 sheds, won't even be able to see it anymore. And I've got it fixed. I put a rubber barrier in there so she can no longer do that. But just something to keep in mind. Always, what are you doing? Crazy girl. There, you just hang out. Let's see. Yeah, if they were selling ducklings at the show, there's probably feeders. So, oh yeah, there's some good ones in there. Oh, nice. Yeah, I need to get my big snakes out too at some point. They just ate last weekend, so they've got another couple weeks before they eat again, so they'll get some time out there. So let's see. Nicole's asking what I use for substrate for my hog nose. I use aspen for my hog nose. That's fine with them. I give them aspen, and because they like to burrow through, and aspen holds their burrows and stuff real easy. So somebody creeping on me. What are you doing back there? Hey, Caesar. How you doing, man? Oh yeah. She's an awesome animal. And she's so spoiled. I'll go like I said, she'll sit there and she'll push on the corner of that thing until I open the door. And half the time she'll hang her head out for a second and then just kind of drape herself off the side and sit there. She just doesn't like to have the door closed. You just want to feel like you're out in the middle of everything, don't you? Sweet snake. The Jones operation is okay. Just trying to follow what you were saying there. I was watching a video where you had separate trays with cocoa chip substrate, so you could have paper on the bottom. That may work too. I don't never claim the way I do anything's the best. It's just what I find works for me. It's like what I found is the best way to kind of balance everything out. Yeah, I'll have to go back there and grab Bob again in a minute. I haven't messed with him in a couple days, in a few days. Let's see. Too funny. I was just pulling up. Tara sent me a message on Facebook. Picture from C&B out there. You can see myself on their TV right over there. Right over there. Is it a ball python? God, it's hard to tell. It doesn't look like a ball. It's got to be something else. Is that a boa? Yeah, it looks more like a boa. Anyway, good looking enclosures over there. That's pretty funny. I will get that stuff from time to time, man. Somebody will send me a message on Facebook, and it's just a big picture of my big ugly mug on their TV. And it's not like a computer monitor, like a damn 60-inch TV or something like that. It's pretty funny, too. I've actually, the office at work I've had guys come in and say, hey, they had you in the fucking TV in the conference room. It's like, oh, great. Yeah, I used to get a bunch of free newspaper from down the road, and I used that. I actually kind of like the way the newspaper works better than the butcher paper that I've got now. Because the newspaper doesn't want to stick to the enclosure. If that butcher paper dries out a little bit, man, it will adhere to the bottom of it. You really got to make sure you keep the humidity up. But it can be a lot healthier, especially for the bigger snakes. A lot of people use paper. So. Nice. And see, stuff like that too. I just got to make sure I don't have any boogers hanging out of my nose, because half you people watching it on TV will see this thing about the size of a softball. Oh, yeah. Bob is a heartbreaker. That's faux show. Let's see. Let me see if I can find that video real quick that Kevin put out. Because I think this is a really, really, really good example of like a demonstration of how you can really upset a snake by not doing the right things with them. And like I said, it's not a dig on Kevin or nothing. It was a new guy that was in there, and they were teaching him how to work with a snake. He got like a 16-foot retic that they was working with. I'm going to put the link for that up here real quick. So you guys that work with big snakes, definitely take a look at this, because after this, Kevin ends up going back and watching the video and then explaining what he does wrong. And you'll see the way Kevin handles the animal as opposed to the way the guy that did it to begin with did. So it may be helpful for some folks. So. Do I take them out in tubs? Well, with my big snakes, I will, if they're just coming off a shed and if they've got any stuck shed at all, I take them out and soak them. Yeah, just soak them for a little bit, and then they're good. But the water tubs that they've got, even my 16-footers, can fit entirely in their water tubs and can be completely submerged. But even like both my big retics will do this. They will sit in their water bowl for a week straight, soaking, come out, shed, and still throw confetti all over their enclosure. And I think what it is, the bigger snakes, it's thinner skin. It doesn't hold together as well. When you got that much power moving around in the enclosure, it's just going to rip it to shreds. All my other snakes, just perfect sheds almost all the time. Except my bigger retics. But yeah, they can soak in their enclosures anytime they want to. If they get if they make a really big mess that they start sliding around in their house, or if they got any stuck shed, then I'll soak them for an hour or something like that, 30 minutes. Typically, that's all it takes, just enough to loosen it up a little bit, and it slides right off. So. Oh no, Dennis was saying he lost his 10-year-old pit to a damaged spinal cord. Ah, man, that sucks. It is rough, man. There's not too many things harder than having to put animals down. That's for sure. Where you going? I gotta put you back. We gotta get Bob out. We gotta let Bob make an appearance, and then I gotta go out there and see what Charlie's doing. If he's doing okay, then I'll bring him in. Will you let go, please? Brat. You know this, right? You're a brat snake. I'm not even a retic anymore. You're a complete brat snake. Wow. No, we gotta go piss off your cousin. Come on. Let go. Mr. Bob. Oh, I'll leave you alone. I'm gonna leave Bob alone. He's in blue, so I won't mess with him a whole lot. Let's see. Nicole says, how does everyone handle the snakes flicking their tongues in their ears? It's not that bad. You don't really notice it. I will tell you that you do not notice it near as much as a 7-foot monitor lizard sticking their tongue into your tonsils. I noticed that. I'll have to see if I got a picture of that around here somewhere. Not of that instant, but I was like nose to nose, face level with this 7-foot Asian water monitor talking with somebody. And the animal was just as sweet as could be. He sat there all day by himself, didn't move, just really enjoyed chilling out and hanging out with everybody. But I was talking and got like mid-sentence, and he just decided to stick his tongue all the way down my throat. You know, their tongue is like this freaking long. So he's like, gag reflex check. Still works. Thanks, bud. Brian said he still hadn't let any of his retics near his face. I don't have any choice. That's one of the first places they go once I start working with them, man. They crawl up my chest and right here and then around back. That's what they do. Niles is known for licking my eyeballs. I'll sit there and he's just, I really need to get a video out with him pretty soon too, just to show him, because he has been, God, he's been such a trip here the last few months. Yeah, it's always good to see Kevin going over to retic handling stuff. It was kind of painful watching that first guy trying to get that snake out. I was just like, oh no, somebody go in and save this poor boy. I mean, he wasn't listening either. He's got, the enclosures that Kevin had that particular snake in has 4 drop-down doors on it. So the snake's on this side. He opens the doors on this side and then finally goes over to the right side where the animal's actually at, drops 1 door down, and just sits there poking him with the stick. And I was sitting there the whole time just going, dude. And the snake was fine. You could just about see its behavior in there. I mean, she wasn't any different than any other snake. All he had to do was go in there and pull her out. But I guess everybody got to start somewhere. Yeah, I've actually not had any of my snakes have stuck eye caps yet, which I'm really grateful for. I'm not looking forward to the first time it happens. I know it will. I expect at some point or another we'll experience everything that we can. Gerald must have been watching that same video. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, man. I was like, this poor animal is just not going to be happy. Let's see. Matter of fact, I guess there's nothing keeping me from showing that handling session there real quick. Oh, hey, Jessica made it. Good to see ya. Hey, how you doing on that For those of you guys who don't know, Carolina Reptile Center, Jessica's a friend of ours, and she's been running around North Carolina catching copperheads for people lately. Hey, let me know if you still need that vision cage. I've still got it here. Yeah, that's Jeremy's. For those of you guys that are wondering about eye caps, good long soaks. Make sure they're good and hydrated, and a wet Q-tip. Just flick that thing right off of there. Let's see. So yeah, let me see if I can. I don't think Kevin will mind me using this as a learning opportunity. I can turn on the audio here and share this. But this is a really good example for some big snake handling. And a lot of you guys will already be able to tell what's going wrong right from right.
Don't worry, I saved you. What do you mean I won't?
Never take your eyes off the snake.
So, it's a dog?
Here, boy. I'm just going to add a little commentary in on there. What I do with these bigger snakes like that, even if it's one that I think is a little bit defensive, I still open the doors up on the same side that the animal's on, because that's where you got to handle them from. I mean, if the snake's like that, you're not going to be able to reach in directly to their face and get them out, because if there's any opportunity for them to bite you, that's when they're going to do it. You get over on this side.
Just say you're a professional.
I'm a professional. That never ends well for people.
Here we have a novice reed tick handler. Then we'll show you. We'll show you an expert later.
See that point right there? I'm going to rewind.
Peter,
it just
stop
a second,
not looking at that snake.
You can
Always keep your
actually
eyes on
glean quite a bit from this moment.
Later.
See the way he goes in and he's just kind of poking him with the
Just
stick.
say
I
you're a
mean,
professional.
everybody's got their own. I'm not gonna
That never ends well for people.
gently poking him, getting the snake's attention and stuff.
Here we have a novice
Watch
reed tick
for
handler.
his
Then we'll
watch
show
for
you.
his head to start moving.
We'll show you an expert later.
Right there. See, as soon as her head starts backing away, that's her trying to
Peter,
disengage.
stop
That's
not
the
looking
time
at
when
that
you got to
snake.
go in and grab them. You just get your hands on them,
Always keep your eyes
pull
on
them
her.
out of the enclosure. That's the time.
You might as well open the other
between,
door right
I don't
next
want
to
to be
you.
messed with, and okay, I'm going to try and get away.
Well, then how are you going to
The thing
pull her?
that
She's going
happens
to snap the
after I
door.
want to get away and they can't is, okay, I'm going to turn around and bite you.
Open the door
She
so you can pull her.
actually does.
She's going to break it.
Pretty good.
Don't pull her backwards.
She does pretty good for a while. I mean, it's like the snake's looking at it and going, dude, open the door. Even the human told you to open the door. Open the door, get a hold of him. And that grabbing her tail like that, after that bad of a start, is just asking for trouble. Absolutely asking for trouble. See, in this, with her flopping around like that, I know it sounds funny, but it's actually,
Just grab it and
I
pull.
think, kind of a good sign.
Grab it, pull.
Because once they start getting that active, man,
Or, no.
you get a hold of them, they will move on their own. The problem is if you try chasing them by the back half of their body like that when they get out, they're just going to get tired of you eventually. They'll get tired of you and do what she ends up doing.
So,
Oh, Jesus. Snake, I can't even stop it. What am I supposed to do
Oh, pretty
here?
snake though, man.
Okay.
Grab her.
I mean, a snake that size, you're coming probably 2 or 3 feet behind their head. Tops. Is where you want to manage them from. Anything behind them, they want to get away from. Down that back half of their body,
This would be a lot easier
just
if we had a cage over
they want
there.
to get away from you at that point, or they're going to turn around and try
Right.
to get you.
I think you proved your point.
But I mean, all these, it was driving me crazy because, you know, she's had enough at this point. He's like, okay, dude, quit grabbing my tail. But even with her in that state right there, you know, if you just let her sit for a minute,
I hear it doesn't like
still go in about 3 feet behind her head most of the time and bring her out of that and just move with her and get her put back in the enclosure. But if you're wondering, watch how Kevin does it. It's that quick little tap at the hook. The hook's in his hand, not even 10 seconds. He drops it, gets his hands on the snake. And you don't care about the hook. It can fly out the window at that point. You don't need it. But I keep telling everybody, man, yeah, I mean, we get snake hooks. We need to use them. We need to be smart about it, use our tools, make sure that they don't have food response and all that stuff. But you don't hook handle giant snakes. You can't do it. You got a hand to handle them. But anyway, I thought that was a good learning tool that Kevin put out today. By all means, guys, especially since I showed this on the live stream tonight, I put the link for it up there. Make sure you go over to Kevin's channel, show him some love. You know, watch the whole video over there, like and subscribe to his channel and all that stuff. And there we go. Okay. Asking if he was I don't know whether he was just getting started or was working in a different area out there and is just learning big snakes or something like that, but he's just a beginner. So, you know, none of us started out knowing everything. I try and think back to the very first time I had my hands on a big snake, and I don't remember a whole lot about it except the fact that I was kind of shitting kittens. I was like, damn, I hope this thing don't kill me. But I mean, you just learn really quick. You can't be afraid of them and keep them at the same time. Just can't do it. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make me anxious watching that because I could tell she didn't want to bite him. You know, the snakes are a lot like horses in that respect. If you get on a horse and you're balanced and you know what you're doing, a horse can feel that. They can feel the comfort there. They're more comfortable with you. If you get on and you're all off balance and you're kicking and poking and all that other stuff, and they won't feel comfortable. And get off of me. Kind of the same thing with that snake, you know. If you go in and you just do all the wrong things long enough, sooner or later you'll make them bite you. He does. He said Kevin makes everything look easy. Because it really is easy. It's just like anything else, man. Once you've done it enough and you learn how to read the animals, it shouldn't be difficult at all. The biggest problem that a lot of people have is just being afraid of getting bit. Yeah, Caesar makes the whole point right there. Kevin didn't hesitate at all, and you can't, you know. You got to go in, just a little tip, and pull them out. You know, the second you start trying to hesitate because you're afraid of getting bit, that's when you're going to make them bite you. Hey, Scabby, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Yep. Yeah, as long as you keep control of that first third of the body, even if they're trying to, even if they are turning around and they're trying to get hostile towards you for whatever reason, if you've got enough room to move with them, it can be tricky with a bigger snake, but still turning them around and breaking their focus like that. If you've got the back half of their body, you can't turn their head. You can't manage where they're looking and stuff like that. So you might be further away from the head, but there's nothing you can do to keep them from turning around and coming at you. Whereas if you've got the first third of their body, 2, 3, 4 feet back from their head, depending on their size, you keep that part as they start to turn around to try and take a swing at you or something. You just turn right along with them and you keep going until something catches their attention somewhere else. And then once they're no longer focused on you, you can manage them and they start to relax. So I still need to find somebody nearby here that has a really shitty big snake that I can work with, because it's tough to talk through. I can't demonstrate it with any of my snakes because they're all friggin' sleepy noodles that I don't have to worry about. So hey Heather, how you doing? Oh yeah, man, horses can be a trip. Just like on Red Dead Redemption, if you try and take somebody else's horse before you break it, then it'll kick you off. Funny story though, when I was a kid, I worked at a horse stable. I think I was 15 and up in Michigan, and taking care of 50 head of horses every weekend by myself. Cleaning stalls, changing water up north in wintertime. It was fun. And the riding instructor out there started giving me lessons. So the very first time, it was really funny. The first horse that he put me on was a Belgian draft horse. And and that was the very first horse I'd ever jumped on too. So I mean, you're talking like a friggin' 16-8 animal or more. And we're in the arena, and you just got these little 1-foot cavalettis, and we're coming along, and I had the stirrups down, of course, and I was using the stirrups. And as soon as that horse jumped, I tried to jump with him, and he just fired me right over his shoulder, man. And I just like a rocket and landed like a bag of shit in the sand. And Chuck just sat there and laughed and laughed and laughed. And that was like the last time I could use stirrups for like 2 or 3 months. But yeah, I first told him that I wanted to start training for steeplechase because I was always fascinated with that. Until he actually like showed me down in the ditch what it was like after a dude had like a dude and then a horse and then another horse and a dude fall on him and stretchers. And I was like, no, man, we'll do 3-day events. That sounds better. Hey, Ray, good to see you, man. Let's see. Let's see. Judd was saying one of your friends posted a clip in a private Discord of some guy that grabbed a wild anaconda by the back of its head, no other points of contact. It was just minding its own business. Yeah, I mean, it's wild snakes. Everybody's first instinct is to go python hunter on it and jump in, snatch it by the back of the head. Sometimes with wild snakes, you got to do that. But I've also seen cases where people will walk up to wild snake. Rob Christensen has got a video that he put out on his Instagram where he walked up to a water snake and just started scratching it on the chin. It was perfectly fine. You see a lot of people that go out herping that will just pick up snakes and work with them, never even get struck at. Wild ones. So. Yes, they can definitely be stubborn. This particular horse, every time I'd go to put the saddle on him and I'd start to tighten up the girth, every time I would pull, that big ass head of his would come around and he would chomp his teeth, and he'd always be like an inch away from my arm. Never once did he ever bite me. But every single time I'd pull up on that thing, man, he'd come around. And I mean, his jaws are like this freaking wide. He was just a monster of an animal. But yeah, I go, chomp, chomp. You just hear them big ass teeth clanking together. Okay, grabbing them only by the back of the head to be very. I mean, I haven't seen what size it is, but if it's a sizable animal, then you definitely need to have two people on it. One person to control the head and the other person to control the body and keep them from wrapping them up. If it's a big enough snake, you're going to need more than two people probably. There's been a couple snakes I've worked with that would need three people to really control under those circumstances. Oh my God. Talking about using rattlesnakes as bullwhips. Yeah. I haven't seen that. I didn't even see any rattlesnakes the whole time I was out west. Yep. Yeah, that's what he would do. I mean, you'd literally have to put a knee up underneath their ribs until you hear him exhale a little bit, then lock that thing up. Otherwise, you just go like that, and then as soon as you think you've got it on and you go out, the first time you actually got to lean into a stirrup or something, the whole saddle turns upside down. I do miss working with horses, though, man. They're a lot of fun. They'll hurt you. They took out Superman, but they're a lot of fun. So that's it. Yeah, I really need to get up to Kevin's place one of these days, man. I would have such a blast just going through there with him and working with these animals and getting some videos, getting some really cool videos of just the most ornery animals that he's got there and working with those and managing them. Should be great. Maybe even getting bit. Ooh. I mean, he's got so much awesomeness in this one freaking aisle right here, too. It looks like a green anaconda in that one enclosure. Yeah, you see the tag. And oh, I'm watching here. Let me share what I'm looking at instead of just being a goober. Yeah. But yeah, you can see down here, he's got the green anaconda down there. I think this is a Bolin's right up above it. I think that's, what's her name? Medusa, maybe, is the name of his Bolin's. He's got some friggin' awesome animals. Good stuff. I would love to get up there. Do I have any venomous? What's my thoughts about it? I do not have any venomous. I don't consider my hognose venomous, even though they're technically are. I'll do, whenever I get to a point where I have enough space to start bringing people over and start doing a lot more educational stuff like in person and all that, I may get some venomous to start working with just so that I could have them here. I think ultimately what I'd like to do whenever we manage to get moved and set up the way I want to be is I would like to get like displays of all of the local snakes and stuff out here and, you know, have them set up in such a way that we can transport them real easily, do demonstrations, show people, you know, maybe show them police, firemen, stuff like that. And so you can actually see all the native species and know the difference between the venomous and the non-venomous. I mean, just any kind of cool stuff like that. For an educational thing like that, I would keep venomous, but just as a hobby, I have no desire to. I mean, it's too easy to make a mistake. And you don't even really have to make a mistake. You just get caught off guard, you slip up a little bit, and then you've got bad things happening to you. So I don't think it's worth the risk for me personally. A lot of people do it. They're fine with it. That's awesome. But I'm perfectly happy with my big snakes. I don't know what I would do without my big snakes. I really love working with them. They're awesome. Man, and I just shaved too, of course, before I came on tonight. So now I swear I'm not a cokehead. I promise. I just got damn fuzz from shaving all up in my nose. Either that or it's from the dog. So. Let's see. He's talking about the copperhead that was caught in the netting. Oh, cool. So he never showed any signs of defensiveness at all. Cool. Maybe he knew you was there to help. Heather was talking about that guy. Isn't Slaggers the cat the guy that does really stupid things with venomous snakes? I think I'd seen that guy before. I think he's out in North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. But, yeah, it's got to be the same guy. Ooh, look at me. I can do something dangerous. Yes, you can. Luck runs out every now and then, just like when I was riding sport bikes. There's two kinds of riders, those that have went down and those that are gonna go down. When I went down off the side of the mountain and got stopped by a tree, it kept me from going down and probably dying. I was like, okay, cool. I'm good with this. At some point, you stop pushing your luck. Yeah. Antivenom is expensive as hell, too. And depending on what species you get, you may not be able to get any. Oh, yeah. Love my big snakes. They're awesome. God. And it's 8:20 already, too. We've got our Patreon Zoom call starting up here in a few minutes. So we're going to start wrapping up. This is the only weird thing. And I may end up actually at some point talking with everybody in Patreon and seeing if they might want to do that on Sunday and a live stream. It just seems like, just like I was telling Bob when we was getting started last weekend, I was like, it typically takes me like a half hour before I actually get into a rhythm and actually start talking about stuff. And when we do the Zoom calls right afterwards, by the time I'm actually just sitting here going on autopilot and everybody's throwing comments and stuff out, it's time to shut it down and go do the Zoom call. So, but you guys too, of course, we've always got the it's always a struggle trying to come up with what a good video idea is, what people want to see, what people need to see. And, I look back over the last 300 uploads that I've put up, and we're going on 3 years. Come October, Intrepid will be 3 years old. Put out a lot of stuff, and we've covered a lot of ground. So just about anything that I would put out at this point is going to be a repeat of something else. Repackaging, maybe some updated perspectives and things like that, but it's going to be better camera equipment. So I guess that's a plus. Maybe I can just go back to my very worst videos where I'm making the video and I'm talking off like this because I didn't understand what it meant to change the tone in your voice and look at the camera lens. And so I've got some of those that I wasn't really happy with. Maybe we'll redo those. If you guys got anything specific, man, feel free to jump down in the comments and stuff. Let me know. Because like I said, we're always looking for new ideas. I know I want to do some stuff with Niles. I'll do an update on him. But again, as far as socialization and stuff goes with him, he's piece of cake. The Tegu, I need to do an update with him, really. He's doing a lot better. But there again, I started the series with him, and it was all just so similar. It was going to be the same video over and over and over again. So it's like, okay, well, let's back off until we start seeing some changes and stuff. So we'll see. We'll get it all sorted out. And of course, with summertime getting here too. Also, I put out a post on social media about this too. As I finish getting the rest of this gear compiled and stuff like that and start doing some practice, I'll start putting out some regular wildlife videos and stuff like that. Some of the places that we go to, like this place, the bog that we was at today, was really nice. I got some video out of it, not a whole lot, but maybe put out some compilations of stuff, captured some of the animals that we captured out there and things like that. Might make some good videos. So it's not necessarily exotics, but it's wildlife, so same type thing. And let's see. Yeah, I can just about. She was saying that guy with the it was free handling all them venomous snakes and stuff was out here in North Carolina. Yeah, I think I've seen the same guy. I don't know, man. Natural selection has got to kick in at some point. So his luck will run out. The only way I can see it not is if he's had the venom glands removed on those animals, which is why he does that. There's one person that I know of that I'd seen who takes highly venomous snakes to schools, and they're handling them 10 feet away from the kids, free handling them, gaboon vipers and things. But they've had all the venom glands removed, which is a really bad procedure to do on the animal. So that's just as bad. So. But anyway, guys, I've got to jump off of here and get ready to do the Zoom meetup tonight. So again, guys, if you want to start getting involved in that, the link to the Patreon channel is always down in the description of all the videos. All the contributing members, I send a link out. We all get together after the live stream and continue the conversation, talk about different animals and stuff like that. We got a lot of cool folks in there, a lot of experience to spread around. So do that if you like. If not, jump down and get subscribed to the channel here, like this, get it out, and we will see you guys. Oh yeah, talking about Retic Fest. I've got to see. Tentatively, I was planning on going up to Retic Fest this year. I may or may not. So I'm kind of on the fence. Just get with me offline about that, Jessica. And we'll see. I probably need to, because I don't do enough events and things like that. But we'll see. Touch base with me. Okay, guys. You guys have a great night. It was good to see everybody. And we'll see all the Patreon folks here shortly. Have a good night, guys.